For joining everybody. Today we are traveling to Piemonte, which is a place that I really wish that I could go right now. So basically Piemonte is a wine region in northern Italy. You have your Alps to the north and you have the Apennines to the south. And so between there you have this region called Piedmont, which is probably my favorite, if it has to be my favorite Italian region. Tuscany's right there too. I do love a Sangiovese. But the grapes that we're going to find here and talk about today are Nebbiolo, Barbera, and Dolcetto, which is really cool because in this region of Italy, we are talking about these really, really famous grapes that we're so familiar with, here in the United States, but really they're from Piemonte. They're grown elsewhere, but this is their home and it's really special and specific to the region. So we are talking with a amazing winery today, Massolino Winery, Franco Massolino, who is the owner and winemaker, and he is going to share with us a little bit about the winery, what's going on in Piemonte, what we can expect from his wines, and so forth. So let's go ahead and bring him on. By the way, I am drinking Chardonnay. I thought that 1 o'clock would be a great idea for some Chardonnay. So, Franco!
No.
How are you?
Very well. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I know it's a little bit later where you are, but we really do appreciate your time.
It's a pleasure. Absolutely a pleasure.
Amazing. So I guess I wanted to get started by saying, the history of the Massolinos and wine goes back to 1896. Can you tell us a little bit about how this all began and what it looks like today?
Yes. So our family business was founded from my great-grandfather, plus than 120 years ago, in the small village of Serralunga d'Alba, in a village that imagine lives only 500 inhabitants still today, so it's really very small.
Small.
Yes. So in a historic center of this small but really beautiful village, my great-grandfather founded his estate that in the beginning was only a farm because the economic situation in Italy at that time was not easy. So big family that need to eat at the end of the month. So they produce vegetable, they bred animals, they produce hazelnut, and also little quantity of bunch of grape for a small production of wine. Certainly, with the years, the things changed. The son of my great-grandfather, Giuseppe, born in 1804, was a very short man, but very clever, very dynamic, very active. Was one of the founder of the Consorzio of Barolo e Barbaresco, that still today is one of the most important association for the defense of the quality of these wines. So very, very important man. My father, my uncle, third generation, a lot of work. Thanks them, we have today a possibility to work with some vineyards that are really outstanding. And they certainly were the people able to made a big changes in our family business that was no more a farm, but became to be more a seller specialized in the production of the wine, trying to do the distribution of the wine all over the world. And now is our turn. So the fourth generation, I, my brother Roberto, my sister Paula, together with, of course, still my father, my uncle, we are taking care of the entire cycle of the production of our wine. We still today, we are a family business, and we really trust in the possibility to have under direct control of the family all the keys moment of the production. So we take care of our vineyard, producing our bunch of grape, and only with a bunch of grape produced in our vineyard, we do the vinification in our cellar, and we do the distribution of our wine around the world with the wines produced only with our bunch of grape. So it's, I think in some way we remained, and we are proud to be still today farmer. We would like to continue in this way. The fifth generation already arrived, thanks God, but at the present is too early. Some of them are studying, some of them are still specialized drinking milk. So we are working on that.
Amazing. And I read that, was it your great grandfather actually brought electricity to the village of Serralunga, Diaba?
Yes, yes, yes. My great grandfather was a very clever businessman in some way for the time, of course. He began a couple of different businesses. So he understood, he imagined that the electricity could be a resource really incredible for the future. So he founded a small company to buy the electricity from a big company from Turin and to do the distribution in our small village. Unluckily, he was not very lucky because he had some troubles with this company, and he had to change his project. Another one was to buy new machinery that at the time we're working with the steam to produce the flour from the grape.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So was really dynamic, very modern man in a time not easy, absolutely not easy for Italy.
That's really great. And you see that kind of carry through generations. It's kind of respecting tradition, but kind of striving to find new things and
Yes.
improve. So how many hectares are you working with? And what does your production look like year over year?
Yeah, so today we have the big luck to be to have a pretty big extension of vineyards here in Piemonte. We are speaking about around 100 acres, because I think in the United States you use more the acres than the hectares. But anyway,
Acres, yeah.
40 hectares, around 100 acres. And we are producing, in average, we are producing around 25,000 cases a year in the entire production, of course, in all the different denominations that we are producing. Considering where we are as a family business of a medium size. But
Okay.
you have to consider that today we are four families of the Massolino family together. My family, the family of my brother, the family of my uncle, and of course the family of my sister. So we are, all of us together, we are 7 people of my family involved in the business, plus another 10 employees. So we are a pretty good team.
Yeah, that's amazing. So for red grapes, you're cultivating Nebbiolo, Dolcetto, and Barbera. So how does the terroir affect what we find in our glass? I'm assuming they each thrive on different kinds of soils and different kinds of situations.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So the area here is called the Lange. Mm-hmm. Inside of the Lange, there is another micro area, a very small zone that is only 5 miles large for around 7 miles long. So really tiny.
Tiny.
Yes, we are based for a large part of our vineyard. We are based in this area. This area also, if it is so small, has a different geologic formation. According to this, we have also different type of soil, different type of microelements. Of course, is a hilly area. So here, all around us, there are hills with different exposition, with different altitude. All these parameters, all these characteristics can give us a different situation.
Right.
And thanks to the experience we have, we decided to plant different varieties in different places. So also considering, of course, the needs of each variety.
Right.
Yes, for example, the Chardonnay is a variety that needed to be planted in areas not extremely hot, because the sun, if it is too power, can really burn the aromas, the primary aroma of the bunch of grape. The Nebbiolo needed to be planted in a full south exposition because had completely other needs compared with the Chardonnay. So each variety needs different things, and we tried to take care of the needs as well as possible.
Amazing. So I saw that you produce quite a few different Barolo labels, which was really exciting to learn. And I actually have one of them with me. So what distinguishes them from each other, all the different Barolo labels? And why is Barolo king when it comes to Nebbiolo?
Yeah, so yeah, wonderful. This is a Barussi. This is a Barussi, a wonderful single vineyard. Yeah. I make a little bit of advertising. So no, it's certainly in our range. Like you said, we are producing different label, different denomination, but certainly the king of our production, the most important variety in our area is the Nebbiolo. Nebbiolo is a very sensitive variety that needs really a specific parameter for the soil, for the terroir, and for if you think that you can find varieties able to adapt themselves in many different countries, if you think about the Nebbiolo, you can understand that you can find the expression so complex, so unique of a Nebbiolo only in a south part of Piemonte. So does not exist another country in the world, or wine region in the world, able to produce a Nebbiolo similar, with a similar expression to our Nebbiolo. So that means that is a very sensitive variety. Consider that every hill here with a different structure in the soil, with the different microelements in the soil, with a different altitude and exposition, can give us a different imprinting. So the single vineyard are something unique. Are wines able to show a precise personality of a specific hill? So for this reason, starting from 1982, when for the first time we produced our flagship of the single vineyard, so the Vigna Rionda, we decided to underline a certain vineyard able, in our opinion, to really give us something unique. For this reason, 82 Vigna Rionda, I told you, our flagship. After, in 1985, we produced for the first time Margheria. After Parafada in 1990, and in 2007, the single vineyard you showed, so the Parussi. Three of them, the first three I mentioned, Vigna Rionda, Parafada, and Margheria, are produced in a territory, in a village of Serra d'Alba. In 2006, we bought the vineyard you show, the Parussi, that is the only vineyard we have in the Barolo zone, of course, but in a village of Castiglione Falletto. So another kind of territory, another imprinting. Each one of this label show you a different personality, depending on what you're looking for.
Right.
So if you're looking for the elegance, probably Margheria is your favorite. If you're looking for a longevity, a balance between the powerful and the elegance of the Nebbiolo, probably Vigna Rionda is your favorite. The deepness of Parafada is unique, and the tannin, the powerful tannin of Barussi show its very strong personality.
I'm not gonna lie, this is 2011, and I feel like I want to let this one rest still for a while, because
yeah,
I feel like
2011 was a vintage, everything considered, in average pretty warm. When we have a kind, we have this kind of weather, usually the Nebbiolo is not so tannic, is not so closed. So for 9 years, I think you have a wonderful bottle. I hope you will enjoy it.
I'm sure that I will enjoy it. So, you know, you're talking about how different slopes and gradients and plots of land really have their own characteristics and their own personalities. What have you found when it comes to climate change? How is that changing things? Is that affecting things in the vineyard?
Oh yes, oh yes. The things changed a lot in the last years. Changed because for under many aspects. One of the first that I'm thinking about is the temperature and the sun radiations. So during the summer season, especially in the second half of the summer, the sun could be so strong, the radiation of the suns could be so strong that they can really burn, they can cook the skins of the berries. So this is a pretty big problem. So we had to change. Sure, we had to change a lot how we are managing our canopy. For example, another extremely important aspect is how the water arrived on our vineyard. So years ago was usual to have in a winter a lot of snow that melting slowly give the time to the water to go underground and to arrive to the roots of our plants. Today, in the last winter, we had not no more so much snow. We had often winter pretty dry, and often we had events during the summer, very strong, very concentrated storm that in I don't know, in 15 minutes can give us 50, 60, 80 millimeter of water. So a rain very strong.
Right.
When rain like this, for example, we have a big problem of erosion because, like I told you, our hills could be also steep. So for this reason, we had to change completely the soil tilling. So we have now all our vineyards completely covered with grass. Thanks to the root of the grass avoid the erosion. Another aspect, the hailstorm. So during the summer season, in the last years, is pretty usual to have a hail storm. Yeah. So storm that arrive with hailstones that could be really very big and can destroy it completely. Our action in I don't know in 10 minutes we can lose the entire work of our year of the entire year. So it's we covered a part of our vineyards with the hail nets. The changes are a lot, are many. We had to try to take care of these changing of these change, trying to continue to produce our wines like the tradition has taught us. It's not easy, but we have to continue in this way. Convinced that at the end, the plants, the nature, Mother Nature, at the end will win and will always be able to give us the imprinting, the traditional imprinting of our wines.
Yes, absolutely. Well said. It's funny because somebody just asked if you could chat about your current release of Barbera, and my next question was I wanted to chat specifically about your Barbera because this is also something that is easily found here in the US. You can buy this on wine.com. So I think it's really important that we chat a little bit about this wine.
Yes. So the Barbera, I'm enjoying the Barbera with you.
Nice. That's my plan for later.
Okay. Well, but
yes.
Anyway. So the Barbera is a real traditional variety from Piemonte. It's very popular in Piemonte. You can find this variety in many different places. It's a variety very generous, and it's a variety with a huge potential. What means that, under my point of view, if we take care of this variety, we can introduce in the market wines with a personality very, very typical, very traditional of Piemonte, very enjoyable. It's a wine with a very small quantity in tannins. So that means that we have a roundness, we have a sweetness, we have a wine so enjoyable and so easy to drink that everybody can enjoy it. So there are many different ways to produce the Barbera. many producers here began to age this wine in wood because considering that it's poor in tannins, with the aging in wood, we can give the tannins from wood to the wine and have a wine more complex. But this kind of wine, this kind of expression of Barbera do not represent the historical glass of Barbera. For this reason, we thought to continue to produce the Barbera in a traditional way. So the Barbera that you have, the Barbera with the white and black label, is a Barbera produced in a very historical way, without the aging in oak, using only tanking cemented in stainless steel to produce a Barbera as pure as possible, where you can really taste and feel the fruit Barbera, the imprinting of this variety that is absolutely enjoyable. Considering also what I said before to you regarding the global warming, regarding the changements, especially in the temperature,
Right.
I have to underline that the Barbera is a variety that really loves the warm weather and has a rare problem with the dryness. So in the last vintages, more or less all the vintages are outstanding for the Barbera. I saw you have a 2017.
Yes.
2017 is one of the best Barbera I think we produced because it was a very warm vintage. And the roundness, the complexity after 3 years of aging process, I'm sure it's really something unique.
In the United States here, I feel like it's becoming a big trend that you pair your Barbera with pizza. So that's becoming like a big pairing here. People are starting to talk about it more.
I think it's a good choice. It's a good choice. This wine is so complete and so round, so enjoyable that you can enjoy it with more or less every food. Okay. Yep. Except, I don't know, fish.
So I am drinking Dolcetto Chardonnay. Really? And this is absolutely delicious. It's fleshy, it's melon, it's peach, it's stone fruit, nice acidity. It has a brown texture, a little creamy, but not, it's still very fresh. I'm absolutely loving it. So I find it fascinating. Well, not fascinating because I know that Arnaise is also very popular in Piemonte and Cortese, I believe. But is it normal to find Chardonnay as well?
Yeah, it's more popular. It's more popular to find those in this area. And I love your comments because this wine is a little bit my. I explain you why. When I was young, when I finished my school in the years 90s, in this area the most popular varieties are reds. But I'm an enologist, and I always like to drink wine from all over the world. And of course, I enjoyed many wines produced in other countries, produced with this wonderful variety that is the Chardonnay. Right. I tried to convince my father to plant some fields of Chardonnay in the end of the years 80s. And after a long discussions, I had this satisfaction. So he planted, if I remember well, 7 fields of Chardonnay. And I produced for the first time in my life two only barriques of Chardonnay in 1991. So we have not, another important aspect, we have not enologic consultant. So we produce the wine accordingly to our experience, to our mistakes. So doing many experiments, doing many research, but we have not enologic consultant, and this is our imprinting. So having never produced the white, the first one was good, but yes. If you find somewhere a bottle of 1991 Langhe Chardonnay of Massolino, feel you free to not buy it because it was not the best Chardonnay we produced.
Well, it's absolutely stunning now. It's perfect for, it's 1:30 here and it's a beautiful day and it's great. I'm on the porch. This is perfect. It's delicious. Okay.
No problem. Every wine we produce has a project behind. So the Chardonnay, what we're looking for in the label of Chardonnay, and why we decided to produce a Chardonnay, for two reasons. First, because we would like to produce a wine with a great personality, a great complexity, and also a good longevity. Other varieties here in Piemonte are excellent, but often they have not this characteristic. Second, what we're looking for on the Chardonnay, on our wines. On this label, we are looking for a wine that must be complex, but also not overripe, not too heavy. It has to be a wine with a good acidity, with a good balance, not too oaky. For this reason, we changed during the years a little bit. We modified a little bit our vinification, arriving to a style that we consider elegant. We consider easy, in some way, easy to drink. Also, if it is a wine, very complex.
Absolutely, and that's what I find here as well. So, can you tell us what currently is happening in the vineyards now? What are the vines doing where you are, and how have the current circumstances kind of affected the process or the workflow?
Oh yes, it's so now the not the summer, but almost the summer right here. So today we had 32 degrees Celsius. That I don't know how many Fahrenheit are, but anyway, a very
warm.
pretty warm. So the vegetation is developing pretty fast. So we are now taking care of the shoots that are growing. The vegetation is really pushing a lot. At the present, everything it's fine because we had a winter pretty warm, but around a couple of weeks ago, rain very well, not too heavy rain. So the time we had around 80 millimeters, so pretty a lot of water, but in 3 days, so very calm. The water had the possibility to go underground. So now the water is available underground. The plants are working very well. These warm weather help the vegetation to develop in an excellent way. Certainly now we have a lot of work in a vineyard, a lot of work. But yes, this is considering the current situation, considering the COVID that changed how we are living, because this is what happened. So I have to thank also all the people of our team, the people that are usually working in a office or in a cellar, that gave us the ability to give us a hand in a vineyard. So today we are, all of us, me included, and all the family and all the team, we are working in a vineyard that is, if you like, is also a good experience because, you know, sometimes we are living in a world that is very fast, very busy, many here, sometimes too many. Sometimes we have no time to slow down a little bit to enjoy also the view. To enjoy how the vegetation evolves, to have a different feeling with our vineyards, with our plants. So if there is a positive aspect, if we can say that there is a positive aspect of COVID, this could be, I think for our family we can consider it a little bit a positive aspect.
That's good. It's definitely a reset on nature. You can see, you know, in the news, they talk a lot about how pollution is at an all-time low in certain places that you usually can't even see a couple hundred feet in front of you. Now you can. So I think that the vines are probably pretty happy right now with the clean air and kind of just like a reset. So that's fantastic. And a great way to look at it too, to stay positive. So can you chat? So this is the last question because I know everyone always loves this question, especially when I'm chatting with somebody from Italy or from France. with your wines here and where you live in Alba, Serraluga di Alba, what are some traditional food pairings with Dolcetto or Barolo or Barbera? What do you guys eat with these wines?
So I hope that you and your all your followers will have the possibility, if someone never been here, to come and visit our hills. So Piemonte is an area that historically was a little bit outside of the usual touristic way. So it was easy in a corner of Italy and always part of Italy, under the Arc of the Alps, a little bit outside of these popular ways. But it's an area that remains very original, authentic. So here you can still taste the food cooked from the grandmom in some small restaurant in a historic center of our villages. So it's an atmosphere, in my opinion, really unique. It's something that also for us it's a very special atmosphere. Considering that we have a very traditional dishes that could be paired with our wines. Also, if our cuisine is a simple cuisine, is not very elaborated, it's simple, but with a very pure ingredients.
Yes.
There are some dishes that are unique. For example, I don't know, the carne cruda, the raw meat, raw tartare, prepared with a little bit of oil, olive oil, a little bit of salt, and in it a little bit white from. It's so simple, but it's so wonderful that you can really. It's unforgettable if you taste it. But anyway, so the Dolcetto, the Barbera wines we consider them young wines, with the possibility to be enjoyed with the pasta, but with the entire meal, with the appetizer.
Right.
There are a mountain of appetizer in Piemonte. Certainly, the Barolo, it's a wine more complex. It's a wine with a personality sometimes not easy. That has to be matched with the right dish. Often, if you have a meat, if you have a dish a little bit richer in fat, is the best choice, because it can help the tannins of the Nebbiolo to be a little bit more friendly and a little bit more approachable. Of course, after it's necessary to consider also the aging process of each bottle. If you enjoy a bottle of Barolo 10 years old, 15, 20 years old, it's certainly
mellow on its own.
Correct.
So actually, it was funny. Earlier today, every Saturday morning, my husband and I do a FaceTime call with his parents and then my brother and sister-in-law. And they live in Spain because my brother-in-law works for the U.S. government. And so he's stationed over there. And we were chatting this morning and I was telling them that I was speaking with you today. And the first thing my brother-in-law said was, I want to go out there for truffle season and I want to go truffle hunting. So we made a pact that 2021 was our year, that we were coming out and we're coming for truffle season.
We're looking forward to have you all here.
Yes. You're the first person I'm calling. I'm setting up the visit right now for 2021.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to have you here.
Yes. So Franco, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insights. Actually, before we go, I just realized we do have one question here. Is the vine in advance compared to last year? So is the vine further along now than it was at this time last year?
No, so I didn't understand well the question. So comparing the last year with this year, the vegetation in the vine compared to last year, but both the vintages at the beginning pretty early. This year probably a little bit earlier than last year. So this is also good news, because usually when the cycle of the vines, the cycle of the vegetation is long, means, especially for the Nebbiolo, means usually to have a very good vintage. So we are crossing our fingers, hoping that, of course, the COVID-19 will finish soon. And thanks in Italy, there is a good news, because starting from the day after tomorrow, the Italian government will reopen some activities. So finally, we hope that it will be possible to see a little light at the end of the tunnel, like we wish to all of you, to the entire world, of course. And we hope to have soon the possibility to enjoy a glass of wine together with you, with all your followers, toasting at the end of this nightmare, at the end of this.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for coming on with me today and just connecting us and connecting your world to my world. And it definitely helps us all, I think, amidst this craziness, to kind of just feel that we are all still here and we are all still connected. And so to that, I thank you, and I cheers to you.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. Really,
thank you, Franco. So we will see you in 2021 for truffle season. I'm making my appointment for the winery visit. Friends with my friends here, Vineyard Brands, so we're going to make this happen.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to have you here.
Perfect. Ciao. Thank you so much. Grazie mille.
Grazie tante. Ciao. Ciao. Thank you. Ciao.